What's up bafflers, James here. This is a slightly different flavour of TechBaffle, so let me know your thoughts. Unfortunately for Huawei users, this video is quite sour. In fact, this news will affect every user of a Huawei or Honor smartphone. Which phone do you use? Let me know in the comments. Effective today, Google has barred the world's second biggest smartphone maker, Huawei, from Android updates and Google apps. That sounds bad, because it is. It's uncertain whether current Huawei users will be affected, but it is certain that new Huawei smartphones will lose access to Google apps. These apps include Google Assistant, Gmail and even YouTube. This is a huge blow for the Chinese company, as they had year-over-year growth of 50.3% with 59.1 million units sold worldwide. They even managed a 19% market share. Speaking of share, I'm going to share some sweet storage. Thanks to our sponsor pCloud, you can get tasty cloud storage all the way up to 2 terabytes. pCloud Premium lets you securely store your photos, videos and more. Perfect for iPhone, Android, Windows and Mac. You'll also be entered to win a pCloud Premium lifetime plan. One lucky winner every month. Congratulations to so-and-so at soandso.net who won 500 gigabytes of space forever. Use the first link below to get 1 month's free pCloud Premium with TechBaffle. The second link has an even sweeter deal. Get 65% off lifetime 500 gigabytes and 2 terabyte plans. What's more is that instead of paying every month, it's a one-time payment for a lifetime of storage. Use the second link below to get 65% off pCloud Premium lifetime plans with TechBaffle. According to the IDC smartphone shipments reports, Huawei are second place worldwide only to Samsung. In fact, they're even ahead of Apple, who have heavily dropped in market share. Chinese smartphones are incredibly popular worldwide, with Xiaomi third, Vivo fourth and Oppo in 5th place. That's right, Google isn't even on the list. Could this move be related to disappointing Pixel smartphone sales? Actually, the reason behind this looks heavily political. This is because in the US, the Trump administration added Huawei to a list of companies that American firms cannot trade with. They can only do so if they have a license. This caused Google to take action, which said it was complying with the order and reviewing the implications. You could say that Google being politically led, but it would be difficult, if not impossible, for them to continue providing Android and Google app support for Huawei devices. This is because Google would have to trade with Huawei in order to sell its operating system licenses. It could also affect other US companies like Microsoft, who supply Windows 10 licenses to Huawei laptops. In theory, the US could issue a license to let Google continue the relationship, or at least parts of it, possibly dropping its restrictions altogether. Huawei said in a statement, "We will continue to build a safe and sustainable software ecosystem in order to provide the best experience for all users globally." Recently, they had been under pressure from President Trump and the US government over allegations that its products could be used by the Chinese government to spy on American networks, which Huawei have denied. So what do I think about this? I think it's a great time for a new smartphone OS. Unfortunately, it's been tried before, such as Firefox OS, but I seriously think it's worth considering. Fortunately for Huawei, they can still use the Android open source project, AOSP, but it will cut the company off Google apps. Perhaps they can build their own OS built on Android, but without the links to Google. After all, Chinese handsets are blocked from using Google anyway. Michelle Rahman, editor-in-chief of the news site XDA Developers, added that despite Android being open source, Android is actually a brand, and in order to use it, your software must be certified. In a drastic move, Huawei have been already preparing its own operating system, as it could also be banned from using Windows. In a recent interview, Huawei executive Richard Yu said, "We have prepared our own operating system. We will be ready and have our plan B." This isn't as easy as it sounds. Michelle Rahman from XDA Developers added that Huawei's new operating system could be a failure, as the critical part of a success with a mobile OS is the number of apps available on the market. In theory, Huawei could have to create their own app ecosystem and get the big players on board. In fact, even Microsoft struggled to get major app support, which led to the demise of Windows 10 Mobile. which will officially end support on the 10th of December 2019. If you're currently a Huawei user, don't worry. If you own a Huawei or on a smartphone, you won't be blocked from installing new apps or receiving updates for Google services. This means you should still be able to watch YouTube, use the Play Store and check your email. On a side note, our sponsor pCloud also offers an Android APK file if for any reason your device can't access the Play Store. Your smartphone is already verified for the Compatibility Test Suite CTS and the Vendor Test Suite VTS. As a result, Google can still provide new versions of its products and authorized downloads from its Play marketplace without dealing directly with Huawei. Google gives Android device manufacturers a code for its software fixes about 1 month before details about the vulnerabilities go public. This gives manufacturers time to check security patches don't cause issues for their proprietary software, so they can provide stable fixes. The bad news for Huawei is that they will only be informed the same day they are released for the Android open source project, meaning that there will be a delay before patches are released. Huawei has released a statement saying Huawei will continue to provide security updates and after-sales services to all existing Huawei and Honor smartphone and tablet products. Perhaps Google's US government-led decision could lead to heavier regulation on Android devices. Maybe we need a safer environment for our daily lives that relies so much on smartphones. There could be a malicious goal to drive people away from Chinese hardware to boost US hardware sales. After all, mainstream smartphones aren't exactly flying off shelves. Apple slashed its iPhone sales forecast, blaming this decline in China. However, even Samsung's overall operating profits were down 60% year on year for the first quarter in 2019. But what's driving customers away? Price. There is no justification for most people to spend thousands on a shiny screen that has a slightly better camera. In less than a year, the £1,000 phone has become entirely normal, noted Vlad Savov of The Verge. Normal as it seems customers aren't interested. We are now aware that if you shop around, you can get a brilliant unlocked smartphone for under $500 where you're not tied to any 24-month contract. Hopefully with 5G innovation, smartphones can be exciting again. Maybe now Google Pixel devices could get in the top 5. With the power of Google's ads, there's no reason why they couldn't. This is still a major blow for Huawei, who have been growing consistently in smartphone sales worldwide, even overtaking Apple in market share. What do you think about this situation? Is this a good move from the US government and Google? Let me know in the comment section. Thanks for watching. This video has been brought to you by pCloud. Use the first link below to get 1 month's free pCloud Premium with TechBaffle, plus a chance to win 500 GB of storage. Or use the second link below to get 65% off pCloud Premium lifetime plans with TechBaffle. One-time payment, lifetime storage. If you're new around here, hit subscribe and ding the bell icon to never miss out on another video. A true baffle isn't complete without some sweet merch from techbaffle.com/shop. That's all for now. Drop a like if you've enjoyed this video. Any questions, let me know down below. Until next time, follow me at TechBaffle and stay curious at techbaffle.com.
But James, I thought you said this video had ended. Well, it kind of has, but this is a totally scandalous way to fill in time. See, after editing this video, it was 9 minutes and something, so I needed to get to 10 minutes. So let's have a chat. Today's video was a new format, so is there any other topics you'd like me to go through? For long-time subscribers, I might be going back to a few things that I've done previously, like my summer car. The reason why I haven't been back is because I lost my game progress and I was pretty bitter about it. Well, I still am, but I'm actually quite excited to see what's new. Seriously, I haven't played it since the last video I made ages ago. Anyway, going back on topic, it would be interesting to see how this Huawei situation pans out. And you never know, maybe Huawei's new operating system could be the right way forward. If they went the Amazon route, they could build an Android-based OS with their own app store. That would work pretty well. How do you say Huawei? I would say let me know in the comments, but that would be difficult. I think it's something like Huawei, that H sound. I don't know. All I do know is in the UK it's more like Huawei. and this video is 10 minutes now, so yeah, thanks for watching.